There's a rebellion of Dutch farmers happening in the Netherlands. And I bet you haven't seen any videos of this, any headlines about this, any photographs of this, because the mainstream media here in the United States don't want to report on it. Why? Because the policies implemented in the Netherlands that led to this uprising of farmers are also being embraced here in the United States by leftist politicians. So there's a new government proposal related to climate change in the Netherlands that would force the country to slash emissions of what they've deemed pollutants. So we're talking about nitrogen oxide and ammonia by half just in the next 8 years. Now, what would happen? What would happen to farmers? Well, they wouldn't be able to use fertilizer. They wouldn't be able to use pesticide. They'd have to cut their use of livestock. This would devastate farmers in the Netherlands. And obviously people in the Netherlands who rely on the farmers for their food. And so Dutch farmers have rebelled. They've said, wait a second, before you do this in the name of climate change, telling us what we know best, let us have a voice. And the Prime Minister, Mark Rutte, has completely ignored them. He refuses to negotiate with them. So Dutch farmers have blockaded the airports. They've blockaded the highways, the ports. They've blockaded supermarkets and distribution centers just so the government of the Netherlands is forced to acknowledge what impact that policy will have on the Dutch people. Because blocking a distribution center, blocking a supermarket, blocking a highway, blocking an airport causes a huge disruption in the supply chain. Huge. It impacts people's lives. And that's just for a matter of days, 1, 2, 3, 4 days a week. Imagine if farmers weren't able to grow crops, if they weren't able to grow livestock. This wouldn't be a couple of days of disruption. This would be a massive, massive crisis. Massive crisis. Even Dutch fishermen have joined in this blockade. And who can blame them? Because it would impact them as well. It's completely insane that people in the Western world at this point in our world history have to resort to these type of protests to stop the liberal elitists from imposing their Marxist agenda on us.